It was a crisp autumn evening, and the gaslights flickered in the foggy streets of London as Sherlock Holmes made his way to the address provided by the inventor of a strange device that claimed to be a time machine. As always, Holmes was skeptical of such claims, but he could not resist the opportunity to investigate such a unique and potentially groundbreaking invention. Upon arrival at the inventor's residence, Holmes was met with a tall, thin man with a balding head and an excited glint in his eye. The inventor introduced himself as Dr. Ambrose Witherspoon and led Holmes to a room filled with strange machinery and wires. "This is my life's work," Witherspoon said, beaming with pride. "A machine that can transport a person through time itself, and I am confident that it works." Holmes raised an eyebrow, studying the machine with a critical eye. "Fascinating," he said. "And how, pray tell, does it work?" Witherspoon launched into a technical explanation of the machine's workings, but Holmes quickly cut him off. "I understand the principle, Doctor. What I would like to see is a demonstration of the machine's capabilities." Witherspoon eagerly obliged, and Holmes watched with rapt attention as the inventor activated the machine and disappeared into thin air. Moments later, Witherspoon reappeared, a broad grin on his face. "Remarkable," Holmes muttered. "And you believe this device can transport a person to any point in time?" "With some limitations, of course," Witherspoon replied. "But yes, that is the theory." Holmes stroked his chin, deep in thought. "And what is it that you require of me, Doctor? Surely you have not called me here simply to witness your invention?" Witherspoon's expression turned serious. "I have reason to believe that my machine may have been used for nefarious purposes, Mr. Holmes. I have discovered evidence that someone has been tampering with the machine's controls and using it to alter history." Holmes leaned forward, his interest piqued. "Go on." Witherspoon explained that he had noticed subtle changes in historical records, as if events that should have happened had been altered or erased. He had attempted to investigate further, but had found evidence that his laboratory had been broken into and his notes stolen. "I need your help, Mr. Holmes," Witherspoon said, his voice urgent. "I must find out who is using my machine to alter history and stop them before irreparable damage is done, and checking for signs of tampering." As he worked, he couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement at the possibilities of time travel. Could he use the machine to solve some of his most perplexing cases or uncover new mysteries from the past? But such thoughts would have to wait. For now, he had a mystery to solve, and the fate of history itself may be at stake. As Sherlock Holmes continued his investigation into the mysterious use of Dr. Witherspoon's time machine, he was contacted by a wealthy collector of historical artifacts, Lord Archibald Pembroke. Lord Pembroke had recently acquired a priceless artifact from ancient Egypt, but it had gone missing from his collection, and he suspected foul play. Holmes listened intently as Lord Pembroke explained the details of the theft. The artifact, a small statue of the goddess Isis, had been kept in a secure room in Pembroke's mansion. The room had been locked, and the only people with access were Lord Pembroke himself and his trusted housekeeper, Mrs. Mary Whitmore. "I cannot imagine how it could have been taken without my knowledge," Lord Pembroke said, clearly distraught. "But I know that you have a reputation for solving even the most perplexing of cases, Mr. Holmes. Please, I implore you, find my beloved Isis and bring her home." Holmes assured Lord Pembroke that he would do everything in his power to recover the artifact, and set to work examining the scene of the theft. He studied the locks and examined the windows, but found no signs of forced entry. It was as if the thief had simply vanished into thin air. As he pondered the puzzle, Holmes remembered Dr. Witherspoon's time machine. Could it be possible that the thief had used the machine to travel back in time, steal the statue, and return to the present undetected? Holmes decided to pay another visit to Dr. Witherspoon, this time with Lord Pembroke in tow. Witherspoon greeted them warmly and listened as Lord Pembroke described the missing artifact. "I believe that the thief may have used your machine to travel back in time and steal the statue," Holmes said, his eyes fixed on Witherspoon. "Do you have any way of determining if the machine has been used recently?" Witherspoon nodded, leading them to a bank of monitors displaying a complex array of readings and measurements. "My machine leaves a unique energy signature whenever it is activated," he explained. "I can use this to track its usage." Witherspoon began manipulating dials and buttons, and after a few moments, a map appeared on the screen, with a blinking red dot indicating the location of the time machine. "It appears that the machine was activated in ancient Egypt, approximately 2 weeks ago," Witherspoon said, pointing to the map. "And it was only used once." Holmes and Lord Pembroke exchanged a look. "That must be when the thief took the statue," Lord Pembroke said, his voice filled with hope. Holmes turned to Witherspoon. "Can you use the machine to travel back to ancient Egypt, to the exact location where the statue was taken?" Witherspoon hesitated for a moment before nodding. "It is possible, but I must warn you, Mr. Holmes. Traveling back in time is not without risks. The slightest alteration to the past could have unforeseeable consequences." Holmes considered the warning before nodding resolutely. "I understand the risks, Doctor, but we must do everything in our power to recover the artifact and bring the thief to justice." With that, the three men made their way to the time machine, their hearts beating with excitement and trepidation. What mysteries and dangers lay ahead in ancient Egypt? And would they be able to recover the missing artifact before it was lost to history forever?